Born in Sri Lanka 67 years ago, the Venerable Piyadassi has attained the most senior rank in the Theravada Buddhist order, that of Great Elder or Maha Thero. At the age of 20, he was ordained a monk and received formal education in Buddhist studies at Nalanda College and at the University of Ceylon in Eastern and Western philosophy, psychology, and culture. As a direct disciple of a leading Buddhist master, Vajrayana, he perfected his understanding and experience of the Buddhist disciplines. Venerable Piyadassi's home is in the Vajra Monastery and the Forest Hermitage in Sri Lanka, but he is well known in America. In 1964, he was invited to join the Center for the Study of World Religions at Harvard University. He has traveled widely in the West giving Buddhist teachings and leading meditation retreats. And he has authored many books in English with a Western readership in mind. Venerable Piyadassi's teachings are characterized by directness and clarity, and he upholds the traditional teachings of Buddhist thought and practice.
Sisters and brothers, the subject for today is meditation or mind culture. Meditation is something to do with our mind. So now, what is mind and what is matter? A psychologist met a philosopher. As you know, the psychologists are people who deal with the mind and the mind contents. Now, the philosopher asked the psychologist, what is mind? He gave a very curt answer. He said, no matter. And then the psychologist asked the philosopher, what is matter? He also gave a very curt answer, never mind. So, mind is no matter, matter is never mind. True, very true. But we cannot dismiss this question of mind and matter so conveniently. Matter, we know, is energy in a state of stress, and matter is tangible and perceptible. If we cannot see with our naked eye, we can use a microscope. Also, matter has certain characteristics, dimension, weight, color, shape, and also can be submitted to a chemical test. But you cannot submit a chemical test to your mind, because it is no matter, it is not matter. It is not something tangible. It is not something you can see with your naked eye or with a microscope. But there is a way of seeing the mind. When you sit down for your meditation, a thought sees a thought. It all comes in meditation. So we are dealing with the thing that you cannot submit to a chemical test. It cannot be seen, cannot be touched, but we know there is a thing called mind or consciousness in us. Now, when you do meditation, it is very important to observe silence. Even at other times, sisters and brothers, you can enjoy if you learn to observe silence. It's very beautiful. But in meditation, you have to observe silence. Silence, they say, is golden. Very true. And the Buddha, speaking to his disciples, once said, monks, when you get together, do one of two things. Either speak something good or righteous or Dharma or truth, or else keep noble silence. He used the word noble silence. We must speak only if we can improve on silence. When you speak about silence, I call to mind an interesting story. 4 persons wanted to meditate and keep silence, observe silence. They were very sincere, and they went to do this silent meditation. Hours and hours they went on meditating. When the evening came, the day was done, and darkness fell from the wings of the night, and there was darkness inside the meditation room also. Suddenly, a meditator, seeing a steward passing that way, said, it's dark, fix up the light. Then another meditator said, hey, you are speaking, talking, keep silent. Third one said, you both are talking. The fourth one said, I am the only one who did not talk. So that went on like that. Silence is very important. Now, meditation is attractive for more than one reason. It's a retreat. It offers a retreat from the chaos and complexity of today's world. Also, it's a means of introspective self-understanding. The best way to understand ourselves is to sit down and do an inward journey, to become an introvert. You're always extroverts, extra outside. In meditation, you are going to be an introvert, to do an inward journey. Now when you sit down for meditation, think, am I a man or a woman? A doctor and an engineer, or a painter or a preacher, Indian or Sri Lankan or American or Canadian? These are all concepts. When you sit down to meditation, you drop all that, you see what is beyond all those concepts. You see a body and a mind. And the meditation is with regard to our body and mind. Find out how these two work and how they work together. So, we are now we are talking about physical culture, physical training, physical exercise. And there's a Roman saying, mens sana in corpore sano, a healthy mind in a healthy body. They give a pride of place to the human body. They need a muscular body. In Buddhism, they speak more about the mind. If you have a healthy mind, you also have a healthy body. Give pride of place to the human mind. The Buddha says in the Dhammapada, all religions have a special book. The Christians have the Bible, which literally means the book. And there is the Quran for the Muslims, Bhagavad Gita, the book of the Hindus. And what is the book of the Buddhists? They are one whole Tripitaka or canon. If you are to name one book like the Bible or the Quran, there is Dhammapada consisting of 423 verses. Now the opening lines of this Buddhist Bible, Dhammapada, says, mind precedes everything. Mind creates. Mind dominates. If a person speaks or acts with a pure mind, happiness follows him like his own shadow. In the next stanza, the Buddha says, mind precedes everything, mind creates, mind dominates. If a person speaks or acts with an impure mind, then unhappiness follows him like the wheel, the foot of the ox. So, pride of place is given to the human mind. And today, we are very particular about keeping fit physically. Jogging, swimming, all sorts of sports. Why not mind culture, mental exercise, mental training, which is more important, sisters and brothers? Now, in terms of health, meditation is prevention from conflicts, anxiety, perversions, psychosomatic ailments, drug addiction, alcoholism, insomnia, and even suicide. Preventing people from this and gaining peace and happiness. You cannot get this overnight. It takes time. Look at a little baby, how that baby starts to crawl and then to stand straight. How many times that baby falls, he learns to stand, then again he walks. How many times that baby falls? 100 times, more than 100 times. Keep on doing it. And it is that baby one day will join the Olympics and go and win a race. See how he started. So here too, it's not a system. Meditation is not a system. It is a way of living, way of doing, way of cultivating a practice. Today we speak a lot about pollution, air pollution, sea pollution, land pollution. Very, very few speak about the mind pollution. And that's the most dangerous thing, the mind pollution. So we need a little meditation to cleanse our hearts, sisters and brothers. Today we are living in an age of noise. They say music has charms. Louder the noise, greater the music today. And people cannot live. They feel out of place. If there is no noise, they will listen, noise. They feel very unhappy. If you take the newspaper, if you don't see with Bana headline something sensational, you are not happy. See how the human mind works. So we are living in an age of tension, excitement, clash and clang. So we need a certain aloofness from the busyness of life, and that is a requisite to mental hygiene. We must learn to go from motion to remain motionless. In meditation, you are motionless. Some may say, what are these people doing? Doing nothing, sitting down. Yes, they are doing nothing. Really, it is better to be doing nothing rather than to be very busy doing nothing. People are very busy doing nothing. So you sit down, you go from motion to remain motionless like the hen on her eggs. You know, the hen on her eggs seemingly very, very lethargic and inactive, but doing something very important. Whereas the squirrel in the revolving cage seemingly very active, but you know, sisters and brothers, that creature is doing nothing, just turning the wheel. So from time to time we must make an effort to sit down and do a little meditation. Even 5 minutes daily. As I told you, those who are interested in physical culture, they do it daily. They have to do it regularly. Here too, meditation is a thing, not just any day you like, but try to do it regularly, and if you have a special time, that is more effective. Now, today we are going to speak about mindfulness. Now, in the Buddha's teachings, there is a discourse a special discourse on mindfulness. It is really setting forth of mindfulness with regard to four things. Application or setting forth of mindfulness to our body, to our sensations or feelings. Setting forth of mindfulness or application of mindfulness to mind. Application of mindfulness to mind contents. These are the four things: body, feelings, mind, and the contents of the mind. Mindfulness with regard to these four things. And now, when you come to this question of application of mindfulness to body, there is special meditation called the breathing meditation. Now in this breathing, this is the only meditation we need a posture. For other meditation, you can do it in any posture. As you know, there are only four postures, not more, not less. The four postures are sitting, standing, walking, lying down. These are the only four postures we can do. And a meditator knows every position where the body is kept. He knows every position. When sitting down, when you are trying to apply mindfulness to your body, then you take this meditation of breathing. Not just breathing. One can ask the question, what is this meditation? Breathing, which you always do, whether we like it or not. Whether we are asleep or awake, breathing goes on. Then what is this meditation? Well, the important thing is not just breathing, mindfully breathing in, mindfully breathing out. Now at other times, we are busy with our work. We don't bother to be aware of the breath. It goes on. We are busy with other things. Now when you sit down for the breathing meditation, you forget every other thing. You stop all activities. Now we are like the turtle or the tortoise. Now the turtle, you know, goes on, and no sooner that creature senses any danger than it takes in all the five limbs, take into the shell. So the Buddha says, his simile, like the turtle, you close all the five faculties: seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. Stop that. Now you are busy with your breathing meditation, mindfully breathing in, mindfully breathing out. It's very necessary to keep your body erect, the spinal column and the body head erect, because you are going to do the breathing meditation. If you cannot sit down like this, don't bother about the seat or posture. You can sit on a chair with a straight back, without leaning, on a straight back. Important thing is keep the body erect. You can either shut the eyes or half closed. Then you see the tip of the nose, and your view gaze falls just 1 fathom in front of you. But better to close the eyes, no distractions. And the tongue touching the palate. And the right arm on the left. Anyway, keep it without discomfort. Place it in a way. Now, when you say breathing, there is no effort to breathe. And there is no controlling of the breath. It's very natural. Without making an effort to breathe, without controlling the breath, merely allow the breath to ebb and flow in its own natural rhythm, but under the light of awareness or mindfulness. Now, when you do this meditation, of course, your mind will wander. Now you are sitting down and you are experiencing what's happening to your thoughts, your mind. Not hearsay, not listening to talks, not discussing. Discussions and reading books and so on have their own advantages. But here we are experiencing what a thing is this mind. Now comes a thought, it disappears, now appears, reappears, go on. We see all that. But I want my meditation right here, the nostrils, how the air just touches the upper lip, just at the nostrils. So then you are going to be mindful of the breathing, in, out, in, out. And a beginner can say, when breathing in 1, breathing out 2, and go on up to 10 and not more than that, then you will be counting. Or up to 5. When you get used to it, drop the counting. Just in, out, in, out. Of course your mind will wander. Then you get all sorts of thoughts. When you get a thought, you just say it's a thought, become aware of the thought, it's a thought, come back here, goodbye, and come back here. If you go to comment, compare, judge, and evaluate the thought, you are in another track. You will notice that you are not meditating, you are going away from it. So when a thought comes, stop it and come back here and breathe it. You feel like some pain, it's a pain, it's a pain. Don't go to comment it. How did it come? Will it come again? And so on and so on. Just watch, observe, come back to your meditation. So you must observe these thoughts with bare attention, not as an interested observer, mere observer, bare observer, not an interested observer. Just bare attention. It's a thought, come back. It's a pain, come back. Of course, if the pain is going to be rather severe, you must stretch your leg and adjust yourself again. Otherwise, these aches and pains come when you meditate. You forget, come back, it will disappear. Now, when you say a bare observer or bare attention, that is looking at a thing objectively and not subjectively. I'll give you very good example. Now, sisters and brothers, when you go to see the sunset, you know that many people do not see the sunset. When they go there to see sunset, they say, oh, how beautiful this sunset. Much better than the one I saw the other day. What beautiful colors. You see that he is commenting and comparing, not seeing the sunset. But the one who wants to enjoy the sunset, stop talking, commenting, comparing, bare attention. Just look at it. Then you see the beautiful sunset. Try it. Don't comment. Just objectively, not an interested observer, bare observer. Then you see the beautiful sunset. Look at a rose. When you look at a rose, if you start commenting and comparing, you don't see the beauty of the rose. Just look at it without commenting, without talking, and you see it. It is the one, when there's a dancing going on, the observer sees better than the dancer, if he is a good observer. So here, when you do the meditation, mindfully, breathing in, breathing out, thoughts come, drop them, come back here, and go on. And sisters and brothers, you can't get that calmness. One has to, overnight, one has to observe the thoughts and the feelings, and not as my feeling. You must drop that my, I, my, mine, drop all that. There is a feeling, there is a thought. Look at it that way. There is a thought, there is a feeling. Now I told about the postures. Then a meditator walks. When he walks, now he forgets the breathing. He is going to be mindful of the walking. I am walking, 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 standing, standing, turning, turning, looking ahead, looking elsewhere, bending, mindfully doing everything. When he is standing, I am mindfully standing, standing. This is to cultivate mindfulness. The Buddha gives a very interesting parable with regard to mindfulness. It seems there comes a crowd of people crying, the fairest girl, the fairest girl, the country beauty is coming. Then more crowds come when they hear that fairest girl is going to dance and play the music and show her, make a performance, more crowds come. Then disciples, there comes a man who loves life and dislikes death. He is very fond of his life, not death. Now this man is given a bowl brimful of oil. Hey man, carry this between the fairest girl and the multitude, the crowd. Right on your heel comes another person with a lifted sword. If you spill a drop, off goes your head. Disciples, what do you think? Will that man who is fond of life and not dislike death, will he be turning his attention to the fairest girl or the multitude? Oh, never, never, Venerable Sir. He'll be very mindful of the brimful of oil. In the same way, monks, you must keep that mindfulness. This is a parable that I won't tell you, that keep the mindfulness like that on your body. Then when you walk, you get the feelings, then become aware of all that. So, you see everything, your feelings and your body feelings, sensations, all that you become aware of. Then you go to mind and your mind contains. So, important thing here is to be mindful and concentrate. And you know that even to read a book, listen to a talk, you need a certain amount of concentration, attention, otherwise you can't read, you can't hear. In meditation, you need more. So we must do little meditation, sisters and brothers. We must do it daily, and it is going to do much good for us. And also, we must learn to do meditation little by little. We'll talk more about in another talk. May your upward path be smooth, sure and steady.